This new attachment is breaking Call of Duty Black Ops 6 zombies. Season 1 for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 just launched, and Treyarch added the Dragon's Breath fire mod that can be equipped to both the ASG and Marine SP shotguns. Stay locked because in this video I'll be showing you how to unlock it, giving you the best loadout to run it on, highlighting gameplay of it against zombies and elites, as well as how it fared against the Patient 13 boss fight and Liberty Falls lockdown. So tucked away on page 7 of the battle pass is where you can find and unlock the 12-gauge Dragon Breath's fire mod. Unlike in Modern Warfare 3 where you had to complete challenges before you could unlock the attachments, this year all you have to do is progress to that sector of the battle pass in order to be able to use it on your guns. Once you make it all the way to Sector 7 and spend your token on it, Dragon's Breath will be available for you to equip as a fire mod to both the shotguns that are currently in the game as well as any future shotguns that are added in throughout the DLC season. Now if you've been following the channel throughout the preseason of Black Ops 6, you'll know how much of a fan I've been of the ASG shotgun, and many of you have been asking me for my build, so up on screen now is the updated meta class for the ASG with Dragon's Breath equipped to it. If you want to run an optic, you can, but personally I don't, as the entire build is crafted for making the ASG an absolute tank when hip firing. Additionally, Dragon's Breath doesn't allow you to equip a barrel, so with the remaining attachments, I run a suppressor, the vertical foregrip, extended mags 2, ergonomic grip, light stock, target laser, and of course the 12-gauge Dragon's Breath. With the build out of the way, let's get into how it did in-game against the zombies and boss fights. So right away, I think probably the biggest complaint with the ASG, at least in the preseason, was that it did really poorly on low rounds. It was really tough to get kills. It started falling off on like round 2 or 3, but with Dragon's Breath equipped, this thing is a one-shot until round 5 or 6, which doesn't sound like it's that OP, but trust me guys, before, this was like a 2 or 3 shot at round 3. Now, it won't kill the zombies right away. Of course, you do hit them, and then it does take like another extra second or two for the Dragon's Breath to kick in and actually kill the zombies. But like I said, this is so much better than it was before, as I actually think that it was worse in the low rounds than it was on round 30. And not only is it good on the low rounds, it actually is so much better than it was before on the higher rounds. If you take it to round 25, it's literally a one-shot to armored zombies, which is unbelievable, because before it took about like 2 or 3 shots to be able to break the armor and actually kill the zombie off. But now you can kill an armored zombie in one shot on round 25 plus. What's absolutely insane to me is that this gun was so broken before, but they've actually made it better by adding Dragon's Breath in. Now, a lot of you guys are probably here to see how it does against the elites as well as the main boss fights, so without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Against the Manglers, this thing is absolutely busted. Like I said, it was already good before, but it is so OP against the Manglers. It's like a 2 or a 3 tap into the 20s against the Manglers. Even if you're not getting headshots, you don't have to headshot with this gun for it to be good. Before, especially in the lower rounds, it was pretty tough to get those zombie kills, but now you can just hip fire away and it just absolutely wrecks anything in front of you. And nothing else comes close besides the GS45 pistols. Now, the only place that I really think it didn't do well, at least on Terminus, was against the Amalgams. I don't know if it's because I wasn't waiting for the heads to turn around and to actually get the critical kills with it, but when I was shooting at the body, even when it was triple pack-a-punch legendary rarity, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was still probably the best thing to use against the Amalgams, but it wasn't like just blowing me away where I was like, okay, this is by far like better than any ray gun would do against this or any other gun would do against it. And I think that's a credit to Treyarch's balancing, because if you obviously had this one shotgun, there'd be no point in running the ray gun at all. But I think the ray gun is actually the meta still, even today, after the update, to take down the Amalgams. But I also wasn't aiming directly at their heads. I was just blindly hip firing away, and that was against Nathan as well as the regular Amalgams that spawned in. And obviously Nathan's going to be a little bit tougher than the regular Amalgams, but I just, like I said, I don't feel like it was really like impressing me that much. Now, against the other elite in the game, the Abomination, this thing absolutely fries, guys. You don't even have to hit headshots with it, and it still wrecks the bombs. Obviously, if you do hit him in the mouth, it's probably going to break it in one shot, but I was specifically not aiming for the head just to see how it would do if I was running around the map, or if the Abomination was turned away, or if I was in Ether Shroud, and this thing absolutely cooked the Abominations, man. Obviously, it does take a while to whittle them down, but, I mean, in comparison to any other gun, especially not aiming at the head, it's not even close. This was the best gun to use against the Abominations. And that's something I honestly wasn't expecting. Like, I knew it would be pretty good, but I mean, and that's something that I honestly wasn't expecting. Like, I knew it would be pretty good against the bosses, but be able to kill the Abominations relatively easily without even going for headshots, this is where it actually blows me away. Again, it struggled against the Amalgams. Might have been better if you were getting headshots with it, but against those Abominations, you're going to have absolutely no problem taking them down. Moving into the boss fights, we're going to start with Patient 13, and oh my god, it is way better than it was before. The first 2 stages of the boss fight, I didn't even have to destroy both the boils in the first stage of Patient 13 because it did so much damage to the first one, and to him it's like a base. Even if you're not hitting the boils directly, it does so much damage against the boss that I didn't even have time to get the other boil. He just straight up went into like the phase 2 stage where he went away and I had to kill some zombies off for a little bit of time, and I was not expecting that. I thought maybe it wouldn't do very well against Patient 13. It does even better than before, and before it was literally just a beam. Like, I mean, it was still a really good weapon to use. This, I mean, unless there's another gun out there they've added in. I know they buffed the ARs, so we'll go and test those a little bit later today. But dude, the shotgun with Dragon's Breath absolutely cooked Patient 13 in stage 1. Same thing in stage 2, guys. It absolutely melted him. I wasn't doing as well hitting crit shots on him just because I was kind of running around and I wasn't really focused on doing the most crit damage to him. I was trying to see how it would fare against his body shots where I wasn't getting that crit damage, but still, it absolutely fried him. It was even better than before. Now, I think they may have actually buffed Patient 13 in the final stage of the boss fight because before I was able to get crit shots on every single headshot. Now I think you have to aim like specifically at the very top of his head in order to get that critical headshot, as well as his tentacles became high damage target areas too, and I don't remember that happening in the final stages over the past couple of times that I've beat it. So I do think they actually buffed him in the final stage, making it a little bit harder, but again, with the shotgun, it's not even a challenge. At no point was I ever stressed out thinking I was going to die. It just, again, it completely melted him. So if they did buff him and their other weapons suck against him, or that stage is a lot harder, I barely even noticed it just because of how good this shotgun really is. Overall, I'd say it probably took me about like 5 minutes to take down Patient 13, with most of that time being spent in between the phases where I'm just running around killing zombies, and like there was no debate. It was just destroying everything that came in my path. Like I said, the Manglers was like a 2-3 shot. Zombies, it was one-shotting, and then the Amalgam, it did struggle just a tad bit, but it was still really, really good, and at no point did I ever feel overwhelmed. Lastly, on the Liberty Falls lockdown, it actually performed way better here than it did in the Patient 13 boss fight. I will note here that it does struggle just a tad bit against the Mega Elites, so like the Special Mangler and the Special Abomination. It did take a while to whittle them down, especially the Mangler, considering how it's like 2-tapping, 3-tapping regular Manglers. This one, especially just even getting headshots, it did take a while to take down. But the boss fight was much, much easier than it's been in prior games for me. Of course, I was legendary rarity out, triple pack-a-punched, but again, I was running around having no issues clearing out the zombies. It was one-tapping everything around 25 aside from those special elites. Now, for the special Abomination, I actually think it did better against the special Abom than it did against the special Manglers. It was literally just chipping away health, even though I wasn't hitting headshots. It was kind of doing the exact same thing it does against the regular Abominations, just took a little bit more to kill him because, of course, it is that special Abom. But guys, this is by far the best gun in the game. I mean, I know they updated the ARs too, so I want to go test the new Krieg. I'll have a video on that on the channel later in the day. But right now, guys, like at no point did I feel stressed or that I was struggling to take down either of these boss fights, any zombies in the game aside from that Amalgam. And this is by far absolutely the best gun right now that I've used in Season 1 as well as throughout the preseason. Like, they took a gun that was already extremely broken and just made it even more broken with Dragon's Breath. I didn't expect it to do this well against the boss fights and against the bigger bosses, but it really, really did. So if you're looking for something to do today, or you're looking for something to use your permanent unlock token on in the Battle Pass, definitely unlock the 12-gauge Dragon's Breath shotgun, as this is on page 7, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So it will be quite a grind to get up there unless you use that perma unlock on it. And I know the weapons, I think the Krieg and the Sog are much earlier in the Battle Pass, but this, like I said, guys, absolutely fire. No pun intended. It's one of the best, if not the best guns in the game, and they took an already broken gun and made it even more broken. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Black Ops 6 Zombies content. I'll be running a test on the Sog as well as the Krieg later in the day, so be on the lookout for those. And then into the weekend, we'll have some videos and possibly even a stream coming your way. So appreciate you guys. Stay locked to the channel. Stay hydrated. Peace.